All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. Speaking of real music, you got to check this album out by the band 10. And they've been around for like 25 years. Nobody here in the United States knows about it. If you like Asia and Foreigner and progressive pop and rock and maybe some light metal, this is just fantastic. The album's called Here Be Monsters, and it's sonically one of the best things I've listened to in a very long time. And yeah, I'm late to the party when it comes to that band. So just putting it out there. Phil Collins, folks, this is just some heartbreaking and difficult news to digest. Watching Phil Collins out on tour. Of course, he's been sitting during these performances with his old band Genesis. Phil Collins, who is touring with fellow bandmates Mike Rutherford and Tony Banks, remained seated throughout the gig. It comes after the Against All Odds hitmaker has been plagued with a number of health issues in recent years. By the way, Phil Collins is now 71 years old. He injured his vertebrae in his upper back in 2009, and that was an injury sustained during a show. Since then, he's not been able to play drums, obviously. His son, Nick Collins, has been filling in on drums and doing a terrific job, but it's just really sad to watch this unfold. He had surgery to correct the injury, and the surgery went wrong. So again, despite his health setbacks, he has continued to perform for his legion of loyal fans. The surgery, by the way, that went wrong actually left him with crippling nerve damage in his hands, and that has made things worse. The set list, which again, you can probably watch via YouTube because there have been quite a few recordings of this latest and probably last Genesis tour. The set list includes Mama, Follow You, Follow Me, Invisible Touch, Throwing It All Away, and I Can't Dance, which unfortunately is more true now than it was back when it was recorded. Phil was able to hold a microphone and a tambourine during parts of the 2-hour show. Fans have since taken to social media and addressed the singer's appearance. People are saying, OMG, he is so unrecognizable. I love me some Phil Collins. May God bless him and his health. Yeah, it's just really hard to watch. And obviously in the article, there are a number of pictures where he's holding the microphone and he's trying to get the crowd to sing during, certain verses in different songs. And it's just sad to see. And, there is this opinion that maybe, someone in this condition shouldn't be remembered in this condition going out on tour, and people have this memory of this frail man who sits in a chair. And by the way, at one show, I believe a couple of years ago, I believe he fell off the chair. And this shows how weak he is, that he's having difficulty even sitting in the chair. The show is called The Last Domino. That's the tour, actually. The tour is called The Last Domino. So again, he's got some other things going on. He's also lost feeling in his fingers, and he also suffers from a condition called foot drop after a back operation, leaving him needing a stick to help him walk. So this is rough for fans. This is just not a cool thing to have to talk about, but it's getting a lot of play because people are realizing that, he's in rough shape and he probably shouldn't be out there. And the fans are still showing up for these shows. I mean, Phil Collins, as I've said before, in the 1980s, he pretty much owned the decade. As much as people talk about, Bruce Springsteen and Michael Jackson and Madonna, yeah, Phil Collins just actually blew them all away. Between being in Genesis and having this solo career and cranking out songs, collaborations with different people, all over the map, goes on two sides of the Atlantic during Live Aid, which, something like that will never happen again, right? And just a beloved artist. I know his personal life is really screwed up with marriages and stuff, but so what? So what? He is just a great performer, or he was a great performer. And that's why many of us are kind of sad to see it ending like this. So again, our thoughts and prayers are with Phil Collins, that he is able to complete this tour and, miracles take place, because the guy is in rough shape. He is in rough condition, hard to watch, actually. Still sounds okay. When he sings, he still sounds like Phil to some degree. The aging and all of the injuries, I'm sure, aren't helping his vocal range, but I don't think they would proceed with this tour if he couldn't sing at all. And he's getting a lot of help. Again, his son Nick is playing drums, and his bandmates, all of them, are there. And I'm sure they're just picking up the slack and trying to do the best they can. I'm sure they're making a good sum of money on this tour. People are showing up, and the ticket prices are fairly expensive, but this might be your last chance to see Phil Collins performing live. So that is certainly motivation for the diehard Phil fans, and of course the diehard Genesis fans, a band, quite honestly, that is just a treasure, and just a terrific band. Even if you're not into the Phil era, you might be into the Peter Gabriel era, or when they were both hanging out in the band. I think actually they were, but Phil was kind of behind the scenes, and then Peter leaves, and then Phil becomes the main man. And what a story that is, huh? Just amazing. So anyway, folks, I wish I had better news about Phil Collins. He was looking healthy and happy, but the other thing is he kind of looks miserable sitting there. He does not look like he's having a good time. He looks as though he's just suffering through this, and that can't be a good thing. All right, so that's the video. Thanks again for watching the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you want notifications for new videos, and I'm always looking for new recruits over on Patreon to support the channel for just $1 a month. If you want to do $2, $5, $1,000 a month, $1,000 to fill up your gas tank. No, Dave, not going to do it. But if you can afford the buck, I'd really appreciate it, as we are in the dog days of the revenue season over on this particular platform. So if you can help, that would be appreciated. All right, folks, done, and we'll see you soon.